wanted to give a quick shout out to my nephew, Vontae. He's a kid in the video, and he's much better at skateboards, but he was trying to get used to a longboard in that video. I seen him doing this dope skateboard, so I had to buy it from him. His love for skateboarding, his passion, my prayer for him is that he can monetize it and stay inside his passion. But hit me up in the comments if you're interested. He has most of them in color. He does all kinds of designs, all kinds of things. So, kids, gifts, for Christmas, birthdays, what have you, he can do it. But let me know. But without further ado, I'm proud of him, I love him to death, and let's get into it. So investing balance currently sits at $2,778.95. Of course, it's after hours, so as we move along, you may see that increase or decrease. But I want to quickly make 2 points. First, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. Show your boy some love. It's a way to support, and it costs you absolutely nothing. I definitely appreciate the love and hope that you get some value out of all my content, not only this video, not only the Robinhood journey, but all the content that I post. So the second point, which is equally as important, is it's important to keep in mind in times like these, where there is a recession or anything driving the market down like it has been. In our particular instance now, unfortunately, it's the pandemic going on. We do not know when we've hit the market or the bottom until the market consistently goes back up again. Now, there have been a couple positive days and some definite growth, but that further shows you the volatility that the market has right now. And on top of that, with the pandemic projected to continue into the near future, we have to be strategic on how we go about capitalizing on the market right now. Again, I'm not a licensed professional. I'm just a humble guy here giving you his opinion and telling you what I'm doing and how I see things, not giving financial advice. But for me, I choose to do dollar cost averaging during this time, which essentially is me gradually increasing my position or just increasing my position over time, because the fact is the market could see more bad days in the near future. So instead of throwing all my eggs in one basket at the same time, or taking one or two opportunities to buy big chunks or exhaust the funds that I've allocated to invest, I'm going to spread that out across time to make sure that I'm able to take advantage of any dips that may be coming up in the future. And if they don't come and it keeps going up, that's still great, because the market's still overall down. So I can still take advantage of it. But what I do want to make sure I have is cash available to take advantage of that, and just don't jump all in at the same, at one time. So since my last update on the 23rd of March, I've invested into 4 different stocks. And we'll walk through those real quick and give you guys sort of a look at what I've invested into and how that's going so far. You see on the day, it's up 6.34%. Again, that's short term. I really don't focus on that. And as you see, I progress through the time frames. So I'm down overall the past 3 months, 0.07%. But again, it's long-term thinking for me, so I'm not necessarily concerned about the short-term figures. So the first stock that I invested into is a stock that I already had, and I told you I loved and I'm very excited about. And of course, that stock is New Residential Investment. So for this particular stock, again, the ticker symbol is NRZ, and it's still rated by Zacks as number 1, which essentially means buy. And we'll bounce over to the transaction so you guys can see sort of what that looked like. You see here on the 31st of March, I went ahead and bought 14 shares at $4.64 a piece, which totaled $64.96. Again, and you'll see me take action across a couple of days, or 2 days, 3 days, what have you. Again, that's just me dollar cost averaging, and I'll spread it out on some days. I may take action a little bit quicker on others, but this is me increasing that position. So again, on this particular day, I bought 14 shares, and that at $4.64. That total $64.96. After that, on April 1st, I came back and purchased more shares in new residential investment. I purchased 8 at $4.50 for a total of $36 even on that particular day. So let's bounce back over and look at the stock itself. You can see the performance on today. Today it's up 29.04%. On the week, 21.56%. The month, of course, down 63.19%, which is fine. It means I'm getting bargain prices, which again is what I've been focusing on with dollar cost averaging and making sure I lower that average buy-in or average cost. So it's down to $7.09. So just giving you a quick snapshot at sort of what it's looked like, really looking like most stocks right now for the most part. So for that particular stock, new residential investment, it brings my total shares to 88 shares. Roughly, total investment is $620 and a total loss of roughly 24.26% or $151.37. So with that, again, this is going to be a long term for me. It is a dividend paying stock, dividend yield of 12.41%. I will continue to invest into this and increase my position drastically over time. NRZs, and the good thing about NRZ, and again, you want to look in large windows, but just give you a quick snapshot. NRZ's 5-year average dividend yield is 12.4%. And it's also down to about, now on today, it's about $5.37 a share. So roughly a month ago, down from about $14.07. So for me, it's a go. Yes, I'm buying all day long.
Wait, last thing. I'm also gonna need that extended warranty on it for the price on the house.
But again, looking at the company itself, strong financials. They're doing very, very well in the industry, and of course, this is the real estate industry. How they've leveraged themselves and their business model moving forward definitely looks like a good buy. And again, like I said, Zach still got it rated at a number 1. So buy, and that's just secondary information. But for me, I've always believed in the company itself. So we'll bounce over to the second stock that I invested in. It's going to be this right here, Aurora Cannabis, ticker symbol ABC. And this particular stock is, you can tell by the name, but it's a cannabis company. I've seen, Zach's got it ranked at a 3, which means to hold. For me, I've seen some goods and some bads about the feedback in terms of not only this industry, but this specific company. But we'll get into that here in a second. I'll bounce over and we'll go back to the transaction so that we can look at how I bought that or sort of when. So on the 31st, I went ahead and bought just a little bit more Aurora Cannabis here, 39 shares at essentially 91 cents a share. We'll call it 90 cents, but 9031 cents per share, which totaled roughly $35. So with that purchase of those shares, it brings my position to 550 shares with roughly a total investment of $623. And currently I'm sitting at I'm down 24.6% or $153.45. So again, it's long term. For this particular kind of stock, I'm projecting this out several years. So I'm going to just be patient. I don't think, again, I told you I wanted to get to about 500 to 550 shares with the company. I'm going to sit there. I may slowly increase my position over time, but it won't be a focus at all. Now that I've gotten sort of to where I want to, my focus again is building this dividend portfolio, so I will focus on doing that. But over time, gradually, I'll continue to increase the position with this particular company. But again, there's been a lot of good feedback, and then there's been some bad feedback. And again, Zach's got it rated at 3. For me, you have to make your independent decision. For me, I do see a great opportunity and opportunity for Aurora Cannabis themselves to be very profitable in the future. So even their expansion, again, as I mentioned in a previous video, to try and keep up with the medical cannabis market on an international level alone has been pretty staggering. So we're waiting for the states to truly catch up across the board. And that's when you'll see that boom. There are some opportunities and some difficulties they're facing now and may face in the future. Taxation, some legislation that sort of causes some obstacles for them, but that's going to be across the board for the most part. But I do believe in Aurora Cannabis. Now, the third stock that I did purchase and acquire since my last update is going to be, now this particular one has been a hot topic of discussion. Some do not believe in this stock and some do. Doing my due diligence and my research, making my own decision, I went ahead and bought Carnival Cruise. I bought 10 shares on the 1st of April at $8.75 per share, which totaled $87.50. Now, I know, again, some people are skeptical about this industry and this company, more specifically. Even Yahoo Finance has it listed with the Zach's rank of number 5, which means strong sell. Get rid of it. Seen articles where they're telling you essentially get away from it, stay away from it. Horrible opportunity. Damn! The market itself and the bounce back. But again, a lot of these individuals, now Zach's rank is pretty strong, and it's something that I do consider as a part of my decision-making process. But again, you got to fall back to what it is you feel. A lot of people argued against Amazon. A lot of people argue against a lot of stock across the space of time, the last 100 years. You have to make your own independent decision. Am I comparing this to Amazon and the fact that it would be the same kind of return? Absolutely not. Amazon changed the entire face of everything we do. Amazon was a big part of putting, the old school malls we used to walk into. Everybody go to the mall on Saturday, hang out, you meet your sweet thing there, y'all chop it up, go to the dollar movie. Yeah, them days have come to an end and continue to do so. So it's completely different than, of course, Amazon, not making that comparison. But what I say that to say, you have to make your own determination and decision at the end of the day. Again, people, in my opinion, once we move through this pandemic and things start to normalize, and we see the slow progression of that with China and them slowly opening up their doors and opening up their country, marginally, they'll do that progressively over time. I think that sometime in the future, we will get to that point. And once people feel safe enough to travel, people are going to be starving, absolutely starving to travel. And oh, by the way, guess who does it the best? They're Carnival's one of two biggest cruise companies in the entire world, and they have and produce a very good product on a consistent basis. So they are going to be able to take full advantage of it. On top of that, they're going to have a lot of great deals. You have to think logically and from a business standpoint. They're going to have to make it appealing to people. One, the demand will be there, but they're going to sweeten that supply to make it even more attractive, to capitalize on essentially people being held out and told to stay home. People going crazy now. I'm stir crazy, cabin fever. So when that time does come back around and folks feel safe, that may take a while to get there, but I'm patient. I'll wait because I'm trying to see that return. That's what it's all about, that long-term thinking. So look at Carnival Cruise. Today is just north of $12, $12.07 per share. But that's down from $51.90 on roughly the 17th of January. We can even go back on the graph here just to take a look. So that's a huge drop, and it may take a while for Carnival to get there or even back close to those rates or that value. But guess what? I'm willing to wait the long haul because of those that have been on a Carnival cruise. there's a reason why people continuously go. There's a reason why they were pushed to the top as one of the best to do it in the industry. So it's just going to take patience and waiting it out. And the fourth and final stock for me was a new stock. It's new to my portfolio as well, and it's here at the bottom. Realty Income, ticker symbol O. For this particular, again, this is a real focus, not only this one, but Carnival Cruise as well. With Carnival Cruise, again, my position is 10 shares with Carnival Cruise. Just to give you a quick recap, 10 shares with Carnival Cruise. Roughly, I'm in an equity position of $120.90, so I'm up $38, or roughly 38.17%, or $33.40. So, and again, I keep stressing I want to build this into the bulk of it, at least into a dividend yield paying portfolio. So of course there is Carnival Cruises, and with Realty Income, they are of course pay a dividend as well. Now with this particular company, again, I love the real estate industry. Now that I'm not practicing, as I mentioned before in previous videos, I'm not practicing, but this is a way for me to tap into that industry. I don't have to change out any toilets. I don't have to sit at any closings. I don't have to deal with, inspectors or just a multitude of things that can go wrong. Now, as I mentioned before, I am excited and look forward to getting back into practicing real estate, but it'll be more of a focus of the investment side of the house. But I always say, go with what you understand and do your homework. Not only if you're looking at a particular company in an industry that you don't understand, which I highly encourage, just take your time about it. Do your homework. Know what you're talking about. Do some research on the industry that it's in so you have a clue of what's going on. Never pour money into something that you don't understand. I'm very comfortable with the real estate industry. So, but Realty Income, great model, great financials. Even looking back at the history of them paying out the stock has been extremely solid. So long-term stability is there and the growth is there, and it pays out a 5.97% dividend yield. This particular company pays it out monthly. So what I'm looking to do now is set up my drip, fraction shares and drips, because of course they got to be hand in hand when doing it on Robinhood. So hopefully that comes through at some point in the near future. I know you just say, hey, get in early, and you just have to wait in line until they set you up. So, but what I plan to do is go ahead and set that drip so it'll automatically reinvest my dividends right back into the companies in which they've been paid out. So that's my focus moving forward. I'll be excited to show you guys that once it's set up. I do want to say, I highly encourage that you go and take a look at my last video, what we should be doing with our money during this pandemic. It's very important. I do encourage that we find ways to make money grow and work for us, but there are some other priorities that we have to have. For example, in these uncertain times, making sure you have your emergency fund in place. For me, as I mentioned earlier, I'm focusing on working my emergency fund to the 6-month mark. I've been had it at the 3-month mark. But hopefully the middle of this month, here in a couple days, I'll be able to secure that and lock that in and get that up to the 6-month mark. I'm going to transition from there to paying off the debt that I do have. And then after that point, I'll be able to fully focus on investing a lot more dollars and saving a lot more dollars moving forward. But it has to be a step, refining and making sure that I'm not spending and not wastefully blowing money, because again, we have to be intentional with our dollars. I'm trying to retire early. Like I said, I'm somebody that you can relate to because I grind every day just like you. Thank God I'm still able to continue working, but I work for mine. I'm not, you don't see my account at $200,000 or $150,000. I aspire to get where they're at. And a lot of the individuals that I watch on YouTube, but oftentimes you don't see the start. You don't see where they started out at. You don't see the start of $200 or $500 or $1,000. Me, I want to show you my whole journey. and we'll both watch this thing. If Lord's willing, we'll both watch this thing grow and increase and increase and increase is the focus long term. But I'll also bring you into my debt snowball, things of that nature, and just show you an inside look, somebody that you can relate to. Again, a lot of the people that I watch now, they're already making a crap load of money, 100 and something, 200 something, 300 something $1,000. They open up their portfolios and you're looking at it like, man, you got 158 grand in there, or $1 million in there, which is great. And they did make the sacrifice early on. You don't get to those levels by not making sacrifices and not being disciplined. But for me, I want to bring you along from the very beginning of the journey, so you can see the low balance, you can see the growth, you can see the decisions made and how that affects the long-term outlook of it. So I encourage you to go watch that last video. Link will be in the description. Also, with a lot of people having extra time, right now, please check out my previous video that I did with my sister. And she has a YouTube channel as well. I'll leave the link to her channel in the description. Her name is Walk With Me Tiffany. And the video we did together is called Money Matters. And it was actually sort of before a lot of this kicked off and it really started to get heavy with the pandemic, of just sort of reminding people, and some of it you already know, just how important it is to be good stewards of your money. And it's funny, it's all bleeding together. Of the individuals, nobody wants to lose a job or have their hours cut. But of the individuals that are truly, truly panicking, you can tell they're living paycheck to paycheck, and we can all do something about that. It's not what you make, it's what you can keep, and the decisions made with your money. But it's time. If this time has not showed us anything else, man, it's time to tighten up. It's time to get on a budget. It's time to do the right thing, because it's the right thing to do for you. Or if you have a family, you and your family. Let's shore this thing up so we don't have to worry about it moving forward. But there's so many different things that can happen. Let's prepare like they are. Prepare for the worst, hope for the best. And that's finances. That's personal finances. Especially if you aspire to retire early. You don't necessarily have to do that on a 9-to-5, but regardless of what you are, whether you're an entrepreneur, you work for somebody else, whatever you do, whatever industry you're in, you have to practice good stewardship and be on top of your money so that money can multiply and then allow you to retire early, allow that money to take care of us later on in life. So, man, with all that said, I will leave the link to the description to my sister's channel, and also the link to the description for the video I did with my sister called Money Matters. But I look forward to the next update, good people, as we continue this Robinhood journey. Until next time, good people, I'm out.